Okay, in this video, I'm about to show you what your next move should be, and more importantly, why you must have it, and at the same time, this will help bring peace of mind if for some reason the next thing seems like a step backwards, okay? It's like there's times when we need to do something, we need to move forward, and we feel like we're taking a step back. Like if I go back to that, it's like me taking a step back. But if that backward step propels you to the next thing, can you accept that? So this is what we're diving into today. This was all sparked by my brother-in-law who had a conversation with him. I bought him a book for Christmas. I think it was called Your Next 5 Moves, I believe. I can't remember exactly, by Pat Bet David, I think is his name. And we were talking in our voice chat back and forth, and he was saying something along the lines of like how that's so important, the next move. And we just talked about the next move. And it made me think about it. Like, there's so many things that I've done, and I'm pretty sure for you also, there's things that you have done where you're like, I don't know if this is the best thing to do. It's definitely a step backwards. And what I mean by that is, take myself, for example, going and getting a job and working for someone seems like a step backwards based on the trajectory of the way my life has been so far. You know, or maybe stopping traveling and settling down somewhere, it seems like a step backwards. But here's the thing, if I know what my next move is, if my next move is to be this right here, and the path that I'm on right now isn't going to take me there, or there's a faster route to get here, it might look like a step backwards because it's different than the path I'm on, but really it's actually a step in the right direction. Because if you compare it to your next move, not to what you've been doing, compared to your next move, it's a closer step. Compared to what you've been doing, it seems like it's a step away. Are you following me? Are you guys tracking me right now? Just like I'm hoping y'all can see me because the light isn't so perfect. But this is something that's so important. And this is like not even something that I've discovered, but it's something that I realize there's so much shame, it seems like nowadays in I don't know, we're getting a 9-to-5 job, settling down, anything that's not like what the popular belief. You know, before it was like get a job is the main thing, and anyone who does anything different, there's something wrong with you. And then it changed to, if you're not a digital nomad sitting on a beach somewhere, then there's something wrong with you. And then and now it's moving towards like, if you don't believe in this concept, then there's something wrong with you. And I think that society always pushes that there's something wrong, you need something else. And what you really need is what your next move is. So here's what your next move is. It's to figure that out. Like the lack of clarity that you have, the lack of clarity that you've been having, if you can get your next move, I bet you that clarity will be so clear. Because it doesn't make sense now. But think about this. What point in your life did it actually make sense? Like a big thing that's happened to you, when did that make perfect sense? In the moment. In the moment. Because a lot of times people talk about the perfect moment. Like this is like for me, it's like the perfect moment is one of those things where it's like, you know, the perfect moment is not right now. And it's like, well, what if you don't live longer? You know, what happens if things change, if the world shuts down? Then the perfect moment actually was the perfect moment, because the perfect moment can only really be defined by it being that moment right then and there, or looking at it in retrospect. So a lot of you all are trying to make sense and maybe those who are maybe beating yourselves up because you kind of feel lost or something. Maybe what you're doing right now, what if it all was preparing you for your next move? Like seriously, like what if it's setting up your next move? And because we don't know what our next move is sometimes, we end up getting, well, of course we get down on ourselves, but we end up being confused about where we are at because we're not sure of the next move. This is why the next move, whatever it is, you have to define it. It can be wrong, you can change it later, but we need some kind of target. We need some kind of area that we're gonna go. Which way are we shooting for? You know, most of the people I've been doing calls with, probably gonna bring those clarity calls back soon, once I'm more settled, because I'm moving around a lot right now. Like the most thing is like, we don't know what is the ideal outcome for you in this situation. Like what's the ideal outcome? Because here's the thing, when you don't know what your ideal outcome is, it makes everything so much harder. You know, and it makes it that way because you don't know which way you're moving. Like, just as I'm telling you that, can you like kind of see that in your mind? Of like, wait a minute, if I don't know what my next move is, then maybe this step that seems like I'm going backwards is actually something that's going to propel me in the right direction. You know, one of my favorite examples is the client that I was working with a while ago, and they really wanted to travel the world. It was their dream, create content and travel the world. And I wanted to get them in their mind. So creating content, is that going to move you closer or further away from that? And they had to see that it's going to move them closer. But then they were like, well, you know what? I think I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to start this clothing. I don't remember what exactly the business was, but it was a brick and mortar. They had to be there in the town they live in. Is that going to move you further or closer away? And when you don't know that, when you can't answer that clearly, everything seems great. Everything seems like, well, this could be it. You ever have that? You guys ever have that kind of move where it's like, yeah, this could be the thing. This could be the thing. I think. Drop my jacket and my camera. This could be the thing. And you can say that about every single thing you're doing, because when you don't know your next move, that's probably one of the most common symptoms. I'm telling you right now. If you don't know what your next move is, one of the most common things is like, yeah, that could work. But what's the next move? Like if I ask you, is that coffee expensive? What would you say? Most of y'all, it depends what you compare it to. So is this a good move? Is this a bad move? What do you think I should do? Well, it depends. What do you want? What's your ideal outcome? Just talked to a guy yesterday, because we're doing a lot of live streaming now on different platforms, and had a guy, he saved like $10,000 and he wanted to travel. You know, and then he's like, is this enough to do? I'm like, yeah. But then he wants to do all these other things. I'm like, well, what's your ideal outcome here? What's the thing that you want from here? What's the outcome you're looking to achieve? Which maybe sound like a very technical question, but if not, I don't know if it's the best move or not. Like, do I stay with the person that I'm with right now? I'm dating this person. We don't know how things are going on. I'm not sure what's going on. Like, you might say to yourself, like, I think I could marry them. We're kind of having a good time. Oh, no, you're saying I don't think I can marry them, but we're having a good time. But your goal is to be married. So based on what your goal is, based on what your next move is, compare your next move to what you're doing now. Can you see why that's so important? Are you following me? I know the lighting's horrible, but are you following me? Because what I want you to start to do now is to compare everything you're doing to your next move. That's it. Don't compare it. I mean, you can compare it to who you want to be in 10 years and 50, but your next move. Because then we can plan out the next one and next one. Now we got a trajectory. Now you've shown me 2 moves. From the 2 moves you've showed me, now I can start to plot out where you're going to be. The next move is to lose 10 pounds. That's the next move. So everything that I eat today, is it making me move closer or further away? Should I eat this today? If you don't know your next move is to move 10 pounds, then of course you can. Eat the 12-pack of Oreos. Get the ice cream. Eat the pizza. Get the hamburger. Because you have nothing to compare it to. But now once you start comparing it, that's all about what you compare things to. You got to remember that. Because here's the thing. Depending on what you compare it to, can make anything seem good or bad. Like the better of 2 evils. There's still 2 evils. You're just comparing it to another evil, so it doesn't seem so bad. Should I eat this pizza? Well, what are you comparing it to? If you were comparing eating pizza to, should I drink this gasoline? The pizza's way better for you. But if the next move for you was to lose the 10 pounds, then eating the pizza isn't the best thing that's going to move you closer. Now, you can compensate it. Hey, I'm going to go work out. I'm not going to eat tomorrow. You can compensate it different ways, but you need to have some kind of plan. And for so many of us, including myself, without that next move, without knowing what that next move is, everything looks good. When you don't know, have you ever, any of y'all watch Netflix? And it comes time to pick a movie to watch, but you don't even know what kind of genre you want to watch. You don't know if you want to watch action, you want to watch scary, what kind of funny, what kind of movie. Every movie looks like it could possibly be the one, kind of. Your next move, this is what I want you to focus on this week, okay? Today. Just think about what is the next move. You can be wrong. You can adjust that later. There's not a single flight that takes off and goes straight to its destination. Never. Some of you all who fly a lot, I was just flying 2 days ago, and as soon as I got in the plane, I hadn't flown for like a few months, like probably a few weeks, I think. Probably like 2 or 3 months, so it felt weird to fly. And I was flying, and then as soon as the flight takes off, you're like, wow. And then all of a sudden you see the plane do this. What's it doing? Why is the plane tilting? Why is it even tilting back this way? We just there's a course to follow. But that course that the plane takes is dictated. You follow me? The course dictates. The course that the plane dictates is dictated by where it's going. If you change the destination mid-flight, there's going to need to be a course correction. We can't change the destination mid-flight and not expect to change the course. Pilots do it all the time. When they're trying to, they'll change direction during it. Our goal is to have a smooth flight. That's what the goal is. So yes, point A to point B, of course, straight line is better, but there's a storm here. We need to avoid this. And the goal was to have a smooth flight. If we wanted a very turbulent flight, let's just go straight there. Straight line it. Forget about the storm. Forget about the turbulence there. Forget it. We're fine. So what I want you guys to do, what I want you to do is to figure out just what your next move is. And if you can't think too far ahead in the future, just think about what is the next move. Maybe it's something as simple as just getting in shape. What does that mean? What does that look like? You know, one of the things that I love to do is probably my favorite thing, and every time I have a client or I have somebody do this, I remind myself of how important this is I say, whatever it is that you want, whoever it is that you want, can I draw that out? Can I draw a picture of it? Because if I can't draw a picture of it, if a 5-year-old can't draw a picture of it, it's not super clear. Even if it seems clear to you. You should be able to hand that to someone and they should know exactly what your next move is. Lose 10 pounds, run a mile in under 7 minutes, go to the gym every day of the week. That's the next move. And here's the thing, because it's not always, one thing that I've learned, I haven't read the book Atomic Habits, but if I had to think about this book Atomic Habits by James Clear, if I could think about it, I glanced at a few pages one time, and it's all about the little actions that you take. You know, and something that I've added onto it, I don't know if it's in the book or not, but I've realized it's not the next action that you take that's so important. It's the momentum you get in the action that you take that is monumentally important to the follow-up action. Give you a perfect example. If you wake up in the morning and you drink a Coca-Cola and have a pack of M&Ms, you think you're going to be more inclined to go to the gym and drink that glass of water, maybe have that dessert, take your vitamins? Or have you just started the day off where it's like, well, I've already done that, so I might as well. Ever been there? Same concept. Because when you can take an action, when you can take a healthy action, you know, a glass of water in the morning, 5 push-ups when you wake up, like it just sets it up where it's like, I've already done this, so I might as well do that. Might as well is a very powerful phrase that no one ever talks about. Like if you eat the pizza, you might as well have the Coca-Cola. And if you've had the Coca-Cola and your stomach's not feeling good, you might as well just stay on the couch. And now you started this whole cycle which you weren't even aware that you did. So with that being said, this is all I want you to do. Your next move, that's it. What you've done is nice. But most of the time, anyone who's lived a little bit, you realize that, you know, well, you can't, I think it's Steve Jobs who said, you can't connect the dots looking forward, only backwards. And what does that mean is it doesn't make sense now, but as you start to look at the dots from the other side, now it does make sense. Now it does make sense. Oh, that's why this person hurt me. That's why this person left me. That's why this thing happened. Because it all led you to this moment here on this YouTube video right now. Change any one of those things. We're not here right now. So your next move is to figure out what your next move is. This should be a 10, 15 minute exercise. Because just choose one and it'll get you in the right direction and you can change it later. So that's what I want you to do. That is your little bit of assignment here. It's great to be back here, guys, talking to you. I've been so much on other platforms and I was like, I miss my YouTube family. I miss my YouTube family. So it's great to be back here with y'all. And I will speak to you all soon. And the podcast will be out Monday and Thursday. That was the goal. We fell short so many times, but we're going to be back Monday and Thursday in the podcast. That's Life Charms. And yes, I appreciate you all. I wish you all the best. And yeah, I'll see you guys